Welcome to today's video. I am so excited to be shooting this, you guys, because this video is going to kick off the wedding series. So I did a Q&A on Instagram telling you guys to ask us your relationship/wedding questions, and I got a few questions from you guys, so we're gonna address all of that today. But before we get into it, let me clear the air, okay? Because there's been a lot of questions and confusions and what's the other word I'm looking for? Comments about this. Opinions about this. So many are confused because we already did our religious ceremony a few months back, and so whenever I say our wedding is coming up or doing a countdown for the wedding, a lot of you are like, wait, I'm confused, I thought you were already married. Wait, aren't you guys already living together? Wait, are you still a virgin? Like, I'm getting so many comments about that realm. We are waiting until the wedding to, you know, do our thing.
I don't see why, like, what the point of that is, but...
What? What's the point of what?
Of waiting.
Wallah?
No, for real.
Let me tell you.
I don't understand why we have to wait. Like,
okay.
Which I don't mind waiting, you know.
Yes, obviously you mind waiting.
No, I don't mind.
First off, we did do our religious ceremony, so technically we are free to do whatever we want, however we want, whenever we want, okay? But this is just a personal belief of mine. Losing my virginity is such a big deal to me, obviously. Like, I waited 27 years, and I just don't think my wedding day is going to be as special if we end up doing our thing before the wedding. So that's always...
I don't think that's true. That's not true.
That for you, you're not the girl. It's not as much of a big deal to you. It's a huge deal to me, baby.
I'm respecting her chastity.
Sin respects that, and he understands how big of a deal this is for me. And like I said, I just don't think I'm gonna feel as special on my wedding day if we had already done it. And I feel like to him, he denies it. But I feel like in a guy's perspective, it's kind of like, okay, what's the point of having a wedding now? I kind of got everything I wanted, okay?
Not really.
Okay, you can keep denying it. A lot of guys will think that way, and listen, ladies, you just gotta play your cards right with these men, okay? You can't give them everything they want right away. You gotta make them wait.
Yeah.
You gotta make sure you get what you want before you give it up. Trust me.
You know, you just like make up your own world and your rules.
No, baby, and, I know a lot of people are gonna agree with me about this. You can't deny that if we don't wait until the wedding, it's gonna be just as special. It's not, I feel like I'm not gonna be as pure. Like, I've always envisioned still being a virgin by the time my wedding day comes around, and it's just such a huge deal to me, and I want it to be very special. So aside from that, now that we got that out of the way, aside from that, I've also been spending half my time in Vegas, and then the other half of the time we have family visiting constantly. So we haven't even felt like we're living together yet, and we leave to Lebanon literally next month. We're not gonna be able to fully feel like, hey, we're actually living together or fully settle in till after the wedding. We are going to be gone for 2 months for the wedding. Honestly, moving and renovating and trying to plan the wedding and all these other bridal events on top of trying to keep up with my content has been so incredibly stressful. You guys will see in the wedding series all the stress and the hassle that I went through planning this wedding and like trying to get our house together before we leave for 2 months. But the good thing is, at least when we're back from the wedding and the honeymoon, we don't have to worry about moving and renovating, and we just sort of have to add the final touches to our house. We're currently about 80% done furnishing the first floor of the house. The second floor needs a lot of work, but again, like I said, we're not gonna worry about fully furnishing our house or fully settling in till after the wedding. So that pretty much clears up half of the questions I've been getting about us moving in together. I'm confused. You had your religious ceremony. You haven't had the... Okay.
They're ready for the questions.
Now let's get into the other questions. Next question, how is the wedding planning going? It has quite literally been the most stressful time of my life, because like I just told you, we're also moving and renovating and working, and it's like, it has honestly been so stressful. I didn't think I would be one to stress so much about wedding planning. Like,
it doesn't have to be this way.
It's been very overwhelming.
Just gotta keep it simple, you know?
No, but...
Just keep it very simple, and it's not gonna matter when you're dead.
Thank you, sir. That doesn't change the stress, but you have a point. Today is May 2nd. At this point, I have already had our engagement party, our religious ceremony, and my bridal shower just ended last week. And I also leave in 2 days to my bachelorette for a whole week. And then we'll leave to Lebanon in a few weeks for the wedding. So there's a lot going on, but I'm sort of just trying to take it day by day at this point. And
If you guys are listening very closely, you'll hear just events after events after events going on. That's our whole life right now.
That's normal.
Events, that's it.
It's supposed to be events. We only get married once. That's the thing though. Hassan actually is helping me a lot with wedding planning. And with that, the stress level is at 100. So I can't even imagine the brides who get no help from the groom. Kudos to you.
You're trying to say I'm making it worse?
Okay, there's also, Hassan is also the type that sometimes gets too involved, but we'll get to that.
Well, no, I get involved because like you're trying to make it complicated.
Next question, where is the honeymoon? So we haven't even thought about planning the honeymoon just yet. I have a couple places in mind. I definitely want to go somewhere super relaxing like Maldives. And then I want to go somewhere adventurous like Africa. And then maybe Dubai. I think we definitely want to visit Dubai as well as a third stop.
And Cape Town.
Yeah.
Cape Town, South Africa. I think that we should have the honeymoon probably in like September or October of this year, because the main reason why is after we have any type of events, she loves to like go through her content and see like what she wants to post, and she likes to edit everything herself.
Yeah, I get so overwhelmed.
She is, I mean, she is the best editor, so I'd say that it is a little hard to like outsource that to someone else to do, because she's very, very picky with that stuff.
Yeah.
But because of that, I think we should wait a few months to go on the honeymoon so we can actually enjoy it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like right after the wedding, you'd be just editing at the honeymoon all day, every day.
Literally after every bridal event, I've been so overwhelmed with content, and like that's all I think about for like weeks after the event. So I can't even imagine how overwhelmed I'm gonna be after the wedding with all the content. But if we come all the way back to the States and then like spend a couple months and then go back, I don't know. I just don't feel like the honeymoon will be as special. But
another thing is, if we go in the summer on the honeymoon, it's gonna be crowded with like tourists and like super hot.
Yeah.
You know? We can just wait until the winter time. There's less people around, shorter lines wherever you are.
Yeah.
And,
we haven't come to a conclusion of when we're gonna go on the honeymoon and how long we're gonna wait after the wedding, but we definitely want to go to 3 different places. One relaxing place, one adventurous, and Dubai. So that's the plan for now. First time you said I love you. Do you remember?
It was it over the phone?
No, it wasn't over the phone.
It could have been, because like there was a time frame from the first time we met.
Baby, you don't remember the first time you told me I love you? Do you know where we were? Huh?
Oh, was it by the pond?
We were at a park, okay?
Yeah, the pond at the park.
Okay, and how did you do it?
Yeah, so like there was, little ducks in the water. There was a bench that we like took a nap on for like 2 minutes.
No, you're thinking about the wrong time. It
was at a park?
No, it was in California, sir. It was my 2nd or 3rd trip seeing you. I think it was the 3rd trip.
Wait, was it Laguna Beach?
I just know it was at a park.
You don't know either.
No, I remember exactly where it was, but I'm bad at directions. We were at a park and he was giving me a hug goodbye, and he just said it as he was giving me a hug. He was like, I love you. And I was like...
Where was this?
At a park in California. I don't remember the park. It was like, maybe like...
Well, a normal girl would like take out her phone and pin like the exact location of where, the first time.
It was like 3 months into us talking.
Why didn't you pin it?
You don't even remember the location. Okay. How are you balancing your marriage life and work life? I'm not. I'm having a mental breakdown, at least one mental breakdown every single day. So I don't know how I'm doing it. I'm just like going through the motions, but it's been a lot. It's been a lot, you guys. Like I would say, and I know I'm probably gonna change my mind after the wedding, because I'm gonna come back to a house that's ready and we can just get straight to work. Like that was really one of our goals with moving and renovating and planning the wedding at the same time. But as of right now, current Diana is warning you, do not plan a wedding across the world and move and renovate your house before the wedding. Just don't.
Well, we got the hard stuff out of the way.
Yeah, but it was...
Imagine like having the wedding in a different country, coming back, having nowhere to live.
I mean, that's true.
Like, where would you live?
I know.
You would either stay in the apartment or with your parents. Like, who does that, Or a lot of people do that, but like we don't want to do that. We wanted to have a house set up.
Yeah.
Furnished and comfortable, so we can come back, start shooting content in the house. Like, we work from home, so we have to have a place to like come back to and work in.
That's true. I mean, I know Hassan always thinks in the long term, and he's very responsible with that stuff. So I know when we come back after the wedding, I'm going to be relieved. But as of right now, I'm really going through it. As a Muslim woman, how did you guard your chastity while you dated your man?
That's the word. I had it right.
Yeah. So how did you guard your chastity while you dated your man before nikah? Is that what it's called? Nikah is another word for religious ceremony or ketbik. So she's asking, how did you pretty much stay a virgin? I pretty much already addressed this in the beginning of this video. I just have a lot of self-respect and throughout the 27 years of my life. And please don't feel bad or like take this as like I'm trying to attack people who like lost their virginity before marriage. Like, this is just a personal belief. You can do whatever you want with your body, okay? I just want to get that out of the way. Every person has their own beliefs. And for me, I just have too much self-respect, and I personally would feel worthless if I didn't wait till marriage. So we are waiting till the wedding day itself. How do you stop your relationship from getting boring or getting bored from each other? That's a good question. Well, one, you have to actually truly be in love with each other, which we are.
That's probably the biggest one.
The biggest one. We're like madly in love with each other. Just the thought of like me getting bored of him isn't even a possibility in my mind now. Maybe 20 years down the line. I'm just kidding. 20 years down the line.
Maybe like 2 months from now, after the wedding.
Oh, see what I mean, ladies? He gets what he wants and then he's bored. This is what I mean. You gotta make them wait.
No, the first answer was right. Like, if you actually love the person, you're not gonna be bored. You'll always find something to do.
Exactly. You'll always.
And then like something that we haven't actually been doing is like over the weekends we like maybe like a date night once a week.
Yeah.
But we've been so busy with like renovating the house and all that, so there's still excitement.
Yeah.
In the house.
Yeah.
You know?
It's true though, like a lot of things you can do is like create a routine together, have date nights, just do things that bring you back to the main reason why you ended up together. But we have been on completely opposite routines and not having date nights or anything just because it's been so crazy lately. We honestly haven't even had time to think about like getting bored because it's been so overwhelming.
If that ever happens, like if we sense there's boredom coming, a solution to that is just to move.
No, to travel, not move.
To move.
Okay.
We gotta try different countries out, you know? Right?
No. How did you know your fiance was the one? You want to start with this one? How did you know it was the one?
I had a list of things that I wanted in a woman, like exact things, and as soon as I met her, she met all of them. That's it. Like a nice checklist.
I was hoping it would be more romantic, like the second I laid my eyes on you, my heart just dropped to my stomach and I got, you know, like.
That wasn't possible because I saw you on the internet, so it's like.
So is that how you felt when you saw me on the internet?
Most people look different on the internet than they do in person, but
oh my God, you guys.
When I saw her in person, she actually you looked way better.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's not like, that's not like offending how you look on the internet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I post the cringiest videos on the internet and all these skits, you know this. I literally was like, how did you know I was the one just from looking at my page and like talking to me through the internet? Because I'm so cringe sometimes, so that's fine. So
yeah, I want to hear it. Yeah.
So when Hassan originally messaged me, here's the crazy part. I think I was at 13 or 14,000 followers at the time.
On what?
On Instagram. And when he messaged me, 99.9% of the time, I will not answer a DM from like a guy that I never met who's like trying to compliment me. You know what I mean? Like it's like if I
Who was that 1%?
You! 0.1%.
Yeah, 0.1%. There you go.
No, I mean, it's not, like rarely it's nice if someone's like, you're beautiful. I would just like thank you and just stop the conversation right there.
No.
I'm just saying, he messaged me the corniest thing, baby. I'm sorry, but like the fact that I even responded
to that.
It
worked, so.
It worked because I saw his profile picture, I saw his name, I saw he's Lebanese, I saw he's really good looking, and I'm like, oh, who was that? So I completely ignored how corny his first DM was, but he said, nice fit with this
just
emoji.
Screenshot it right there.
Yeah. Just what was I wearing, you ask? You think I'm wearing a gown? No, I was wearing a t-shirt and ripped jeans. Okay, so he was just,
I like those jeans.
He was just trying to find something to comment on. Anyways, so we sort of started talking from there. I was very, very cold at first, actually, and then I was telling my sister about him and she got mad at me because she's like, why are you being so cold? Like, this guy is so cute, he's Lebanese, he's Muslim, like he's literally everything you want in a guy. Like, why are you being so cold? She literally grabbed my phone and started messaging him herself and just being more conversational.
Thank you, Khenwa.
Yeah, so honestly, if it wasn't for my sister, I might have just stayed cold and maybe the conversation would have stopped. I don't know, but I was literally answering like one-word answers. And like he would ask me something and like usually you'd be like, here's the answer, what about you? I wouldn't even say what about you. Like he'd be like, where's your family from? Lebanon. What part of Lebanon are you from? this, blah, 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 this, you know? So, because, okay, you had a lot of gym pictures too. So I was like, oh, this guy's probably messaging like 20 girls at the same time he's messaging me. Like, I just didn't know what his intentions were. Now, a month into us talking, I actually made a Q&A when he still had his mask on. So some of these questions might be repetitive. If you watch that video, sorry.
Even if she didn't answer,
yeah,
I would have found a way.
Yeah.
I went to Vegas. I would have. Well, like my dad and your uncle knew each other. So
that's
like,
what it was. That's what made me open up a lot more. My uncle and his dad have been friends for over 25 years, which is so insane. Like, what a coincidence is that? They used to be coworkers in Michigan, and my uncle now lives in Vegas, and his dad lives in California. So the fact that there was that correlation was just insane. 2 months after we started talking, you came, right?
So we started talking in
July 7.
July 7.
And you came
and I came September 9.
Yeah, so 2 months into us talking, he came. And the second I saw him, literally the first night we met, I came home and I told my parents that's gonna be my future husband. Like, I automatically knew, like, this guy is the one. It was so surreal. Like, the first few months of us talking, you guys, even after seeing each other for so many months. Oh my God, I'm getting emotional.
You know why?
Huh. Why am I getting emotional? What the hell?
It happened because like,
ew.
Like, so when people meet each other for the first time, you know how they have their guard up and like they're like acting a certain way, like their personality shifts. We weren't like that. Like you were yourself and I was myself.
But for the longest time of us talking, it didn't feel like this was real. Like both of us couldn't believe like we found one another, and like we'd literally be texting each other like, I can't believe this is real. Like I must be dreaming. Blah blah blah. Like it just didn't settle in that we found each other till like months later. Like I'm talking even the whole first year of us being in a relationship, especially because it was a long distance, we just didn't feel like the other person existed. Like we felt like it was too good to be true. Ugh, why did I get emotional? What the hell? Okay, where did you get your wedding dress from?
I don't have tears, by the way. I'm yawning.
No, you're crying.
No, I'm yawning.
Where did you get your wedding dress? I traveled all the way across the world to Lebanon, went to literally like almost 20 different designers to finally find my wedding dress.
I have a secret.
What?
Should I say it on camera?
Yeah.
I know exactly how your dress
No,
looks.
you don't, baby.
Yeah,
oh my God, there was this one time, you guys, he was looking like, he was trying to find something in my camera roll, and I have like videos for the wedding series of me trying on wedding dresses. And so he kept scrolling and I'm like, stop scrolling. And he was like, he thought he was being funny, so he kept on trying to scroll, and I'm like, please stop scrolling. Like he almost saw my wedding dress, but I snagged it right away. You don't know what it looks like. I deleted it.
Okay.
There's other dresses. I think he has like an illusion, like it's gonna be a ball
I can
gown.
draw it for you.
Why did you decide to do your wedding in Lebanon? I've always wanted a Lebanese wedding. It's been a dream since I was a little girl. So honestly, it's really hard to imitate a Lebanese wedding in the States.
Even if like you spent $1 million here to make that possible,
it's not gonna be the same.
hassle is like, it's not worth it.
Like my oldest sister, you guys, she had her wedding in Vegas, and the amount of money she spent on her wedding was insane. But she had the hardest time finding vendors that imitated Lebanese weddings. She had to fly everyone out from different areas of the States. Like people from Florida, her planner was from New York. Like it was just such a struggle to try and imitate a Lebanese wedding. And we are both Lebanese. We're both originally from Lebanon, so we do have a lot of family there as well. How did you meet your fiance? How did y'all meet? Okay, lots of questions about how we met. I do have another Q&A up going into more detail about those sort of relationship questions up, so I will link that up here. He still had his mask on, so you guys might be annoyed. I feel like a lot of people got annoyed with the mask, but luckily we show his face now, so it's okay. How are you planning the wedding overseas? I haven't. The thing about Lebanese people, they like to wait till the last minute to plan. Somehow, weddings overseas, or at least in Lebanon, don't get planned till literally a few weeks before the wedding.
Which can be a blessing and a curse, because like,
yeah,
you don't have to like think about it until you're there.
Exactly.
A couple weeks before.
Yeah, but like, I've been getting on the planners and the designers. I'm like, please, we need a plan. And he literally had to call me via Zoom to just be like, please don't stress out. When you get to Lebanon a month before the wedding, give me a call then and we'll think about it. They just do things so quickly in Lebanon because each venue already provides you with all the vendors, all the options. They bring everyone to you. They just make the wedding planning process a lot quicker and smoother well, I hope it's smoother. I really don't know. We're gonna find out when I go to Lebanon next month, and I will obviously be bringing you guys along. But I did have a really hard time deciding on a venue and finding a dress. When I went to Lebanon a few months ago, you will see all that in the wedding series and how tedious that was for me. Me and Hassan got into it a couple times because we just weren't seeing eye to eye with the venue. Luckily, we're still here, so that was sorted out. But Yeah, that was pretty bad. The only thing that freaks me out, every time I tell someone in the States, like all I've done so far is book the venue, they look at me like I'm insane. I haven't booked entertainment, I haven't booked a florist, I haven't hair and makeup, like none of it. Obviously my dad's doing my hair, but like for makeup, nothing has been planned.
No, the only downside to having the wedding in a different country is the communication. It's very hard to like get a hold of them.
With the time difference.
Yeah, time difference is a big issue.
Yeah, but we'll figure it out.
In the end, they always like, you know, prove themselves, and if you go on their social media, they've been doing it for years, so
yeah,
I think we're safe.
How to meet the man of my dreams, Muslim, educated, on the same level as me. I feel like every guy I meet is not looking. This is a hard one because from my experience personally, I feel like I wasn't even looking for anyone when Hussein entered my life. I was 24. I was 24 at the time, and I was sort of just focused on myself and my career. And in my head, I was like, okay, when I hit 26 is when I want to meet the love of my life. Like that's the plan I had, like meet him at 26, married by 28, kids before 30, you know? But we met at 24, and that's something you can't control. Like when you meet the love of your life, you can't be like, sorry, I'm gonna need you to wait 2 more years and then come back into my life. Like it just happens. I feel like you were ready to meet me though. You were like looking.
Oh yeah, I was ready.
Yeah.
Because I had that
list.
The checklist. Well, yours was a unique case because like most women, they know what they want and they're like actually searching
for it.
If they're not searching, maybe their parents are searching, or like their aunt or their grandma, whatever.
Yeah.
But in your situation,
I wasn't even looking.
I found you.
Yeah. I think I would say my advice is just focus on, I know it sounds so cliche, but focus on loving yourself and building your career so that when the love of your life does enter your life, you're sort of ready and you're not, you see a lot of relationships where the woman, like if you get married young, the woman has so many more goals she wanted to accomplish, but she got married right away and is already having kids and now she doesn't have time to accomplish any of her career goals. So I would say use this time because I mean, marriage is great in all aspects, but it's also not easy, and you're also giving like half your time to your partner at that point. You know, it's not just about you anymore when you get married. So use this time to be selfish, to focus on yourself, to grow your career until you meet a partner who can add on and amplify that, not someone who's gonna just like diminish your goals. You get what I mean? That was good, huh?
Yeah, that was good.
Oh my God, that was a good answer. Okay. Planning a wedding budget-wise. Woo! Let me tell you. The budget this man set is half the budget I was anticipating. We came to a few disagreements on the budget just because he thinks in Lebanon weddings are supposed to be a lot cheaper. That's not...
Which you found out is true.
No, it's not always the case.
It is? What do you mean?
Like I went through hell to try and find a venue that would work with our budget. For what I want, for the type of wedding that I want to have. Episode 1 is going to be talking a lot about the budget, so we will go into more detail about that then. But is there something you want to add? Because he's the budget king right here.
Yeah, I just don't think you should spend a bunch of money on one day in your life. That's it. Like,
yeah.
All the other reasons are irrelevant compared to this one thing. Like one day, and no one's gonna ever remember it.
I'm gonna remember it.
You're gonna have a video.
Our kids are gonna remember it.
You're gonna have a video of it, but like, how often are you really gonna look at that video?
Yeah, but it's celebrating our love. It's like, this doesn't happen.
Here's how I
often.
think you can celebrate love by like using that money for traveling.
We can do that too. We can do it all.
More things than just like a couple more flowers here and there. Huge waste of money.
I'm just trying to find like different questions because they're all very similar. What kind of things do you argue over? That's
we don't really argue. We disagree, but then we come to an agreement pretty quick.
So I mean, we definitely, you can't say like we never like argue. We do.
Not like other people, I'm sure.
No, not like other people. Yeah, we definitely don't get into nearly as many arguments as other people. Luckily, the two main things couples tend to fight about is in-law issues and finances. And thank you God, because his in-laws are freaking amazing and he gets along so well with my family. So there's never been an issue, like family issues or anything like that. Finances, from the very first day we met, we literally talked about finances, we talked about health, we talked about how we want to raise our children. We addressed all these big life challenges and things that tend to lead to divorce from the very first day we met. Literally, we sat there for hours until Baba called and was like, it's midnight, where are you? You need to come home.
I think the only thing was, or is, the sleep time, like the sleep difference. She sleeps at like 4 a.m. I sleep at like 10 p.m.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
So I would say, well, I mean, there's a couple little things. It's not that we argue over it. It's just taking a lot of adjustments from both ends and compromise. When you start living together, there's a lot of adjusting that needs to happen. You're not living alone anymore. There's certain things like I do that he's not used to. There's like, I sleep so late, you guys. That's like a big issue with mine. I'm such a night owl. He sleeps super early, so our schedules are kind of the opposite. He likes working out first thing in the morning. I like to like sip on my coffee and like check my emails. Like there's just certain things that as much as we get along and as much as our values and the main things are the same, there are certain things with the way we live our lifestyle that are a little different, and we need to accept that. We need to accept that we're not the same person, and we're not gonna have every single thing be the way each of us wants, you know? So there just needs to be a little bit of compromise with that. Like I like things a certain way. If I'm in a certain mood, like don't do this, you know? It's just understanding each other more.
I just think it would be really nice to like wake up early in the morning, like 6 a.m., work out together, and then get to work together.
That is nice. That's lovely.
Yeah, it's very nice.
But also, I would say another thing we've had disagreements on is honestly the wedding. We've gone into it a couple of times with the wedding, and it's like, as much as he helps, like I said, I'm very thankful because you guys will see in the series, like without him, I honestly would not have been able to do this whole wedding planning thing. Like my bridal shower, he literally was out there with the vendors in the sun, telling them exactly how to set up, where to put everything, reporting everything back to me because I had to get my hair and makeup done. He's just helping in every aspect, but there are definitely disagreements. Like there's disagreements on the budget. There's disagreements on where we want to have our wedding, on the venue, there has been a lot of things that came up where it's like, it did cause disagreements, but obviously we got through it.
Well, if those disagreements didn't come about, like if we didn't go through that, we wouldn't have found this venue.
Yeah.
It's always best to get like multiple quotes or something, or like look at multiple places than to just stick with one. As soon as you find one that you like, you can't just like emotionally be like consumed and like attach that.
But the one I originally found and wanted is the one we went with. After all that struggle, all these venues, we ended up going with the one I wanted. Did we not?
No, dude, you were looking at like 2 different ones. Somewhere else.
Oh, that's true. Okay, I forgot about that. Mm-hmm. Is the wedding indoor or outdoor? The wedding is indoor. That was something we were going back and forth a lot with because weddings in Lebanon, the fireworks and the outdoor venues are unbeatable, you guys, but the weather is horrendous in the summer. It's so hot and humid. Like you literally sweat your hair and makeup off within the first 10 minutes. And I'm not trying to feel icky and disgusting on my wedding day. And also the indoor venue we went with has really high ceilings and they can literally light up the fireworks from top to bottom. Like they will light it up in there. So that it makes it worth it for sure. Have your parents always known about you? Yes, my parents have known, like the first day he drove here from California, because I used to live in Vegas at the time.
They knew like even before I drove there.
Yeah, they knew we were talking. They knew he was coming. Like I don't hide any of that from my parents because they know I'm not doing anything wrong. So obviously they trust me to like get to know each other before we actually get married. Like you need to fully know each other before you get married because you're spending the rest of your life with this person. You have to be 100% sure that this is the person you want to spend the rest of your life with. So my parents definitely gave us that freedom to be able to like hang out. Obviously, I've had a curfew my whole life, so like once it hits midnight, sometimes even at 10 p.m., it just depends on their mood. Sometimes at 10 p.m. they start calling, or at midnight they're like, where are you? Come home.
Which by the way, I didn't know it was like okay to do it that way, where like we would get to know each other before meeting the father, or you know?
Yeah.
Because that, when I first met you, or was it before I started driving, I asked you like, can I meet your dad? Or you said like, oh no, we can meet alone first and then we can meet him after?
Yeah, because I didn't want, like, I wanted to make sure, like, obviously, like I said, when I first met him, I was sure he was the one, but like before we met each other, like what if we didn't vibe when we met each other? You know what I mean? Like it's just so different. Like we FaceTimed and everything. But Hussein is just very, very respectful and he likes to do things like by the book, you know? He just thought it was weird for him to not like meet my dad before taking me out and like getting to know me, which I thought was really cute. But my dad did start questioning like, hey, aren't the parents gonna, you know? So a few weeks into it, I think your dad called mine and, you know, pretty much got his permission for us to be kind of like talking. Mm-hmm. What are the differences between you and him? That's a good, oh my God, you guys are good with these.
Differences?
Yeah.
I mean, the main difference is like you're a night owl and I like to wake up
And
early.
he's a morning person, that's for sure one. I feel like, okay, personality-wise, you guys, Hassan has a very, very goofy side to him, but you only see it sometimes. And I feel like we complement each other so well because I'm so goofy. You know this, like I'm like, ah! So loud and outgoing. And Hassan calms me down. And I feel like I bring out the goofiness in him. When I'm very, very stressed out, that's another thing. I get overwhelmed very easily, and Hassan is always there to like calm me down and be like, okay, he's very logical. I feel like I'm very emotional, he's very logical. So whenever I'm freaking out and like all these emotions are happening, he like comes up to me, he's like, okay, let's think about this. What do we need to do right now to fix this? And let's take this step by step. Okay, step 1, done. Step 2, and so on. So it's just the perfect pair, honestly, because I feel like things I over exaggerate in or I'm lacking in, he completes for me and vice versa, right?
I agree.
When and how did y'all discuss boundaries in your relationship? So like I said, the very first night we met, that whole trip actually, he came to Vegas for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, I came for 4 days. Every second I was there, we're discussing like all the details of her future and all that.
Oh,
because like, you know, from the first day she laid her eyes on me, she fell in love.
Whatever. Like I knew he was looking for marriage from the very first day we met. Like he knew his intentions, he knew what he wanted. In regards to boundaries, like physical boundaries, Hassan has always been very respectful. This is like so personal, but like Hassan like respected that I was a virgin. So we set our expectations from literally the very first trip. Like at the end of every trip, we would spend a couple hours just talking about expectations and boundaries and what I'm comfortable with, what he's comfortable with. We had to just make sure from the first trip that our values aligned, and obviously the main things did.
But it wasn't like asking questions and like getting like an answer. We would discuss it and figure out like how we want to live our life.
Yeah.
Like,
tell them
very
about
important
the
questions.
thing you drew, the girl.
Oh yeah, which I don't even know where that is. I drew a picture before I even met Deanna
That's so weird.
of exactly how I want the woman to look. And
Like his
it
dream
was
girl to look.
Literally like the exact replica of this.
Damn, that's the definition of manifesting something into your life. So I'm gonna answer one more question. I feel like this video is getting pretty long. Last question is, do you and Hassan want children? How many do you want? Yes, we definitely both want children. I only want 2 children. He wants 4 or more. I don't know if that's gonna happen. I think we're gonna start with 2. Okay, hopefully a boy and a girl, so I can get it both out of the way.
Boy first.
Yes,
Girl.
Preferably, but we're happy with whatever.
Boy, girl, boy, girl.
Okay, let's start with 2 first and then see how we are in our life. And then we'll decide if we want more children. I think I want to have the first kid, wait till they go to like preschool or something, so they're like not there during the day, so I have enough time for the second kid. I think that's a good plan. But nothing ever goes as planned, so we'll see how that goes. I also want to wait at least a couple of years after the wedding to have children, but you also can't predict what happens. All right, you guys, so stay tuned for episode 1 of the wedding series. This series is something I've been working on for literally a year now, and I'm very, very excited to finally get these episodes live. There's a lot happening in these episodes. I'm showing you like raw emotions and a lot of just what a bride goes through and just the challenges you go through to make the wedding happen. And I'll take you through all the pre-wedding events.
I just hope someone learns something from this process.
Yeah, there's a lot to learn in the series, that's for
The biggest thing to learn is just keep your life simple.
We're not gonna keep the wedding simple, that's for sure. Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love you guys. Thank you for all your questions. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you stay tuned for that wedding series, and we will see you very, very soon. Bye.
Done.